In today's video, we're going to show you how to successfully connect your Pipedrive account over to your WebMerge account here to automatically create a document. The first step is going to be to simply create a new document template here within WebMerge, and then we're going to connect the document over to your Pipedrive account using what's called a webhook, and we'll show you how to create that here today in today's video. So the first part of the process here is to create a new document. So we're going to come to our Documents page here and hit our blue New Document button. And we're going to name our document here. We'll call this New Client Contract. And we're going to click Next. WebMerge is then going to ask you, where would you like to build your template within WebMerge here? We can build it within our document builder, which is just a WYSIWYG editor here, right here within the WebMerge experience. If you have a fillable PDF, you're going to need to upload that using a PDF editor like Nitro or Adobe, and then you're going to browse and upload here to WebMerge via the Browse button here. If you already have your document template built within Microsoft Word, Excel, or PowerPoint, you're simply going to add our merge fields, which I'll show you what those look like in a second, to the spots in your document where that data is going to vary and you want to have new data merged, save to your computer, and then upload to WebMerge via the Browse button here. Or if you don't have a document, you can start with one of our example templates here and get started there, and then add your changes there to the document so it's fitting for your needs. And then you're going to hit Create Document. When you do that, you're going to be brought over here to your workflow here within WebMerge to create your document. Your first tab here is your Overview tab, just showing you how many merges you've had within the last 30 days for this document. If it's a new one for you, it should say 0. You're then going to go to your next tab, which is where you're building your template. In today's example, we're just showing our document builder. So if you're using another template location, it'll look a little different here, but that's what this tab is here. All of your formatting needs are going to be up top here in the toolbar. You're going to build out your document, add your logos, your pictures. Your merge fields are very simple to add in. The formatting just states that you have to start with a squiggly bracket like this, and then a $, and then finish with a squiggly bracket. Whatever you want to name that merge field is really up to you. It's customizable. It could be first name, it could be last name, it could be Big Bird or Cookie Monster. It doesn't matter. In the last step, we're going to map this over to the data in Pipedrive. We'll show you how to do that. The only rules here are that you can't have any spaces, you can't have any special characters other than an underscore, and you can't start the merge field here where the O is with a number. Other than that, it's really up to you. You're going to add in your static text like I've done here within the document, and you'll see here at the bottom I have some more merge fields here in place, name and title here, same format. And then my ultimate goal here, what I'm doing is I'm creating a new client contract, and I'm going to be sending this out to HelloSign for the e-signature. HelloSign requires us to put a e-sig tag in place where they want to prompt the signees. So this is their e-signature tag. Each service has a different tag, which we have that located easy for you to find within our help articles if you're using another service that we integrate with. So putting that in place, then we're going to move along our workflow here over to our settings. Here's where we'll customize our settings. We've already named our template here, New Client Contract. We then are going to choose the output. We can output several different things, and it's depending on where we build our template. But with a template built in the document builder, we can produce a PDF here, which is probably about 98% of our use cases. We can produce a Word doc if you need to make changes in the back end and redline. We can produce an Excel doc, HTML, email, or even a JPEG. You then can customize your page size output, default 8.5 by 11. We do have several other options, including a custom size here to where you can just enter in the dimensions that you want to have outputted. Portrait or landscape, pretty standard option there. Make your selection. More importantly, each file that gets created, we allow you to name that by the data that's coming over with the merge. So with your drop-down arrow here, you can name your document, each one that gets created. Any merge field within your document comes up as an option here in the drop-down. So you can name it by organization, you can name it by name, title, and so on. It'll be different for you depending on the merge fields you have in your document. Or you can always click Other and type in a new merge field here of the data that you'd like to name the document. So if we want to name this by company name, we could do just like this. And the last part here is status. While we're setting this up, we want to make sure this is in test mode. And we also want to save merge data for debugging while we're setting up this integration so that we can get the information from Pipedrive and build out our field map here within WebMerge so the correct information goes into the correct spot. So test mode and save merge data for debugging. We'll then scoot along here. We're going to skip the field map and test. We'll come back to those later. And we're going to set up our delivery method. We have several different delivery options here, broken into different categories. We can push a document into a CRM. We don't store any documents in WebMerge, so it'll be important for you to choose where you want to have this stored, in cloud storage, or just simply emailed back to yourself as an option as well. If you're interested in having something hard mailed out, you can choose one of these services here, case mail or lob, and they will receive the document that you get created here by WebMerge, stuff it in an envelope, stamp it, throw it in the mail for you, and then your client will receive it, not knowing that you leverage the service to do that for you. If you'd like to have something just emailed out on the back end, you can set up an email here. If you'd like to have it webhooked over to another application with an open webhook, we can do that here, or SFTP. So you'll make your selection. I've selected for this to go out to HelloSign today. So very simply, we have to have an account with HelloSign. We're grabbing the API key, copying, pasting here. We will facilitate an email that goes out to all signees, inviting them in via a link. So we'll put the email subject here. We then are going to use merge data to list the person's name in the email, as well as the email of the person that wants to go to. So we'll need to gather that information from Pipedrive. And then we're going to save delivery. The next step is going to be to start the process of building over to Pipedrive and our workflow. Here on the merge button, we are going to see that WebMerge creates a unique merge URL here. This allows us to build a webhook here and make sure that data gets sent directly into our document here. So we are going to utilize this. So we're going to copy this here. And then we're going to come over to a help article, but you're just going to click this help button here to find this. And there's an article here describing the process that we're going through here today. And I bring you to this to show you how we're going to build our webhook. We're down to this portion here where we just copied our merge URL. And now we need to build out our webhook. And WebMerge provides you a build your webhook URL here. And you're just going to click this link here. When you click that link, it's going to bring you over to this here. That merge URL that we copied there within WebMerge, we're going to paste here. Then we need to get the Pipedrive API key. So we're going to come over to your Pipedrive account. And we're very simply going to go into our settings here. And then we're going to come over here to personal and then come down to API. And then we will copy and paste the API key and then come back over here to our webhook URL builder, and we're going to paste this in place here. The next step will be to put a filter. We need to think through this of how we're going to build the trigger. For example, in my situation here, I want to create a new client contract. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new part of my pipeline here, which is SendContract. So when I have a deal that gets moved into this area, it's automatically going to trigger a contract to be produced within WebMerge. And how we're going to do that is we're going to come back to settings. We're going to come into pipelines, and then we're going to add a new pipeline here. And you'll just type in whatever you want to name that as, and then click Save. And you can see this pops up right here as SendContract. And then we need to add a filter. So we're going to add a filter, and we need to grab the ID number. So if we hover over this new field here, in the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to see a little URL down there, and the number of 6. That's the ID number. So we need to grab that, and we're going to put that here within our, while we build our URL. So we're going to put stage ID here as in field name, because that's what's going to change for us, and the value of 6. So when that happens within Pipedrive, that's going to trigger all the data to go over to WebMerge to populate your document. All of this information has been put together down here at the Webhook URL. We're going to copy and paste this, and then we're going to come back over here to Pipedrive, and then we are going to build out a webhook. So we come down here again in our settings to webhooks, and we're going to create a new webhook. So the webhook URL that we had, we're going to put in place here, and then we're going to create an event action and an event object. So we're going to say when the pipeline gets updated, and then the event object is going to be a deal. And that will send all the data over through our webhook URL to WebMerge to populate the document. So we'll just save that from there, and at that point we are live here with our webhook URL. So now we need to do a test so that we can match the data in WebMerge. So what we'll do is we'll move this deal back over here to a different pipeline here, and then we're going to move it back to the stage of SendContract. That will trigger data to go over to WebMerge, to our specific document. So we're going to come back into our document here to Overview, and then you're going to see just a second ago we had data come over from Pipedrive here. So we're going to view our data, and then we're going to match the data that's coming over from Pipedrive to our merge fields. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to come over here to our settings, and we're going to create this little field map button. So we'll come to settings, we're going to click advanced settings, and then we're going to click the button here for use field map for custom integrations. When we click save settings, this field map is going to pop up. And this field map, you're going to see all your different merge fields that you have within your document here. What we need to do is we need to grab the name of the data that has been sent over from Pipedrive and put that in the merge fields to connect them so that the right data goes into the right spot within your document. So to do that, we're going to come back over to Overview, and we will come in here to View Data. And this is all the data that's come over from Pipedrive. So we're going to scroll down here. We know what we're looking for, and it's going to be different for your setup there. But for my example here, I'm looking for the name of the company, and I'm also looking for the person ID. So we have the name of the company here, which is ABC Company. Within my deal, I know that. So I'm going to click on Name, and this will give me the name that Pipedrive calls that data when it comes over. So I'm going to copy this, for example, and then I will come back over to my field map, and then I will paste this in place like I did here, and that's going to connect this data when it comes over to this merge field so that it will look good every time we produce a document. We're going to do the same thing for any other merge field we're interested in having data come into. So the name of the person, I did the exact same thing. I found it within the Overview tab, and then I also got their title, which is sent over there from Pipedrive. So that's how you map the data to the correct spot there. And then when you do this, the correct data will go into the correct spot, and we'll be able to create that deal. So again, we'll run a test. We're going to pop this back over to another stage, bring this over to the trigger stage of SendContract. And then if we want to check this, we're going to come over here to Overview. We're going to see that new data has been sent over from Pipedrive. And you'll see down here I have an email because I chose to have this document sent over to HelloSign for a signature. I listed myself as the signee, so I received this. Gabe Caldwell has requested your signature. We're going to click Get Started. This is going to bring me into my HelloSign account here to sign the contract that I've created. You can see that the data has been merged in, the company name, ABC Company. And we'll come to the bottom down here, and you'll see that John Smith, the person's name from the deal in Pipedrive, is populated here, as well as the title. We're going to click to sign. I'm going to insert the name there. You'll hit Continue. At this point, all signees have signed, so an email is sent out with the signed contract to all signees involved, and your process is complete. So I hope this video has been helpful to set up the webhook with Pipedrive there. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to our support team at support@webmerge.me. That's support@webmerge.me. Thanks.